Okay, Hollywood, do y'all not seem to understand that biracial people and just mixed people in general exist outside of white people? Do y'all not get that? Do you technically no, because if a biracial actor is not playing a biracial character, it technically isn't biracial representation. It's just colorism. It's just colorism. Okay, so hey y'all, the captain here. I just want to let y'all know I truly do apologize because at a certain point in this video, the camera got knocked out of focus and then it's out of focus the whole time. I am sorry, please, but it's a great video though, and I didn't want to just not post it. So, yeah, thank you. Watch, please. This is gonna be a great one. Hey y'all, it's Harryanna and I'm back with another video. So, watch this video before you want to drag me into quicksand. That's all I will say. Just make sure you watch this entire video because a lot of y'all be assuming things based off the title in the first 30 seconds, and that is a big N-O. Hello, my name is Harryanna, and welcome back to the Pirate Ship, also known as Harry Hook's Pirate Ship. Always remember that I am the captain. You are not my first mate. I have no first mate. Nobody is worthy of being the first mate. If this is your first time here, hey y'all, my name is Harryanna and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. So, we're going to be talking about diversity here today, as we always do. So, we have seen like a rise in biracial characters and interracial relationships in multicultural families over the years, especially when it comes to children's media, both live action and animated and in books. So, yes, it is groundbreaking because, at one point it was illegal to date outside of your race. I am aware of that, okay? It was illegal to be seen with people outside of your race, hang out with people outside of your race. It was shunned upon to hang out with people that didn't look like you. So, the rise of biracial characters that we see on TV, I'm gonna be real. It was a good start at first, okay? So, like, it was a good, but then it turned into something negative, and I will explain that. So also, please just keep in mind that we specifically are just talking about biracial characters from children's entertainment. Please keep that in mind, okay? Thank you. Goodbye, okay? I feel like so many of y'all forget my niche pretty often. Like, yeah, I talk about adult entertainment from time to time, but as long as it's something that really like intrigues me. Like when I spoke about Maddie's character from Euphoria and whatnot. Usually when I speak about adult adult properties that have came out nowadays, it's usually something I'm just kind of itching to get off my chest. So when I talk about it, it's not my main goal. My main goal is not to talk about adult animation. My main goal is to focus on children's media and the things that are involved with childhood. That's why I talk about a lot of old adult things, because those were things that I grew up on. So, yeah. And the main reason I do this is because this is a genre that is often overlooked and is not taken as seriously. Now, let's go ahead and run it back to when it came to biracial characters. I'd say in the last 7 years we've seen a good rise in these characters, specifically when it comes to family entertainment. Like, we have seen them in children's entertainment, but the first time I ever recall seeing biracial characters in a family show was in Sister Sister.
She was voted Miss Congeniality at our high school. And first runner-up for Best Dressed. We won. Well, very good for you. Mary, Kate, and Ashley. Oh!
And it wasn't revealed until later on in the series that they were biracial. So I wasn't aware of it for most of the show's run that Tia and Tamara were actually biracial. So the first time I really recall seeing biracial characters in children's, like, media, because I consider Sister Sister more of a family show. Its targeted audience wasn't children, but it was suitable for all ages most of the time. But when it came to cartoons, children's cartoons, the first show that I ever recalled that I saw that featured biracial characters featured two biracial characters, and that is Hey Arnold Go watch my last Hey Arnold video, by the way. Worked super duper hard on that. Because we have Phoebe. Phoebe was half Japanese, half white. And Nadine was half black, half white. Okay? So now, y'all know I have my strong opinions about the diversity in Hey Arnold that I spoke about in that video. But it honestly is just beyond that video. I have way more strong opinions about Hey Arnold that I will save for another time. I'm thinking about just making like a 2-hour long Hey Arnold video just talking about the entire series, because while I do love it, it has issues. Anyway, moving on. So this was done in the 90s, okay? And it wasn't that much thing. It wasn't that common back then in the 90s to do this, specifically with children and family entertainment. Like, yeah, we saw biracial actors all the time on television, but they weren't portrayed as biracial, if that makes sense. They were portrayed as just black or just white if they were white passing. So in the 90s, it wasn't really that much of a common thing, specifically in children's media, to see biracial characters. Moving on, and I am making light of this because I know somebody is going to bring it up, that this isn't the first time we've seen biracial characters in kid shows, okay? Like I said, Hollywood is notorious for having light-skinned biracial actors play monoracial black characters. I'll use Shake It Up, for example, okay? Y'all know that I love Shake It Up with all my heart, and they had 2 brown-skinned adults playing the parents of Rocky and Ty. Rocky and Ty were both played by mixed actors, and they were both light skinned. So yeah, I love Shake It Up, but that is just something about the series that's just always bothered me. So like, it just debunks that, because even though Roshan and Zendaya were biracial, Shake It Up doesn't really technically have biracial representation because their characters had 2 black parents. So I find that really weird. I find that extremely interesting to look at, because I know people will try to say this show has biracial representation because this person is this and that and that. Technically no, because if a biracial actor is not playing a biracial character, it technically isn't biracial representation. It's just colorism. It's just colorism. Okay, so here we go. We continue, okay? It just bothers me because they look significantly different than their parents, okay? Now, I know someone else is going to say this in the comment section too. Before I even go any further, Penny Proud is not biracial. She is not. As much as y'all tend to think Penny Proud is biracial, she's not. La Cienega Boulevard is not black. She's not, okay? Penny is black. Her mama is black. My mama look like Trudy Proud, y'all, okay? My mama is not white. She is not even biracial. My mom looks like Trudy Proud. So, okay, anyway, let's continue. Moving on. So, as the years go by, we begin to see a rise in, like, biracial characters in adult animation and entertainment. So, we slowly start to see this integrated in children's entertainment as well. So, like I say, Alexa and Katie, the Casa Grandes, Andy Mack, High School Musical, the musical series, Sydney to the Max, Macula's Ladybug, and even Descendants. All of these people, all of these shows feature biracial characters, okay? And one thing I specifically did appreciate about Descendants is that, yes, there are 3 biracial characters. We have Dizzy, we have Carlos, and we have Audrey, okay? And we see the parent of color with them instead of their white parent. So I really did appreciate that Descendants do that. It was like a nice little slice of diversity that they added in. Was it good diversity? No, but it was something. Y'all already know how I feel about the diversity of Descendants. It's a freaking atrocious. Now, there's one big problem I see with all of these shows that I listed off. Josie and the Pussycats, long tails and ears for hats, guitars and sharps and flats, neat, sweet, a groovy song, you're invited, come along. Hurry, hurry, see all the pressure on Navy's pants. We could be in. Okay. Hollywood, do y'all not seem to understand that biracial people and just mixed people in general exist outside of white people? Do y'all not get that? Do y'all not understand that What? Do y'all not get that? Okay. Because I don't know if any of y'all have noticed about all of them little shows that I just listed off, but all the biracial characters in those shows are half white, okay? Alexa from Alexa and Katie is half white. Marinette from Miraculous Ladybug is half white, okay? Andy from Andy Mac is half white. Buffy from Andy Mac is half white. Nene from High School Musical, the musical series, is half white. Gina from High School Musical, the musical series, is half white, okay? Sid from the Casa Grandes is half white. Sydney from Sydney to the Max is half white, okay? That is why I appreciate Kipo so much, because yes, Kipo is biracial, but she ain't white. She is half black and half Asian. That is something that I specifically really did appreciate about Kipo. I wasn't the biggest fan of that series, but I really did appreciate the diversity that it gave, okay? It delivered, okay? Kipo is great. It wasn't for me. I really only watched it because I was just like, Wolf. It just wasn't for me. It's okay. Some things just aren't for you. Now, the other problem with this entire thing when it comes to biracial characters and biracial representation is that it contributes to dark skin and brown skin eraser to a certain extent, okay? Because Hollywood has been using the biracial character game to not only just add more white people to their stories, but to also get rid of monoracial black kids, specifically black girls. Because more than likely when you see mixed kids on television, I don't know if any of y'all paid attention to all of them names that I listed off, but all of those were girls, okay? Usually when a character is biracial, she's usually a girl. You don't see it too often when it comes to the boys. You do see it from time to time, but most of the time it does have with the girls, okay? They do this to try to get rid of monoracial black people, simply to add more white people to their stories. Like I said, as much as I love and adore Andy Mac, I think it's such a great show. It's very groundbreaking for Disney Channel. The show has a colorism problem. The show has a really big colorism problem because why the hell is everybody on Andy Mac light skinned? Everybody on that show is light skinned. Nobody is brown skinned like my color or whatever, and if they were probably just that extra in the background. I do pay attention to the people in the background, y'all, okay? Because I always notice something. This is just something I noticed when I was watching In the Heights, is that there were so many brown skin and dark skin people in the background, but nobody was like a main character, or they were just little one-liner day player type characters, okay? So when it comes to Andy Mac, please explain to me why Sophia Wiley is the darkest person in the room. And if you don't know what Sophia Wiley looks like, this is what she looked like.
Interview portion of the shoot for today. I was in a different outfit, a red top and some black jeans. And now I'm in this red skirt, very Christmas, or this is green.
I love Sydney to the max, okay? I adore Sydney to the max. I wish more people would watch Sydney to the max. I wish more people would talk about Sydney to the max. But one thing about this series that truly does bothers me is that we barely see Sydney's black family. We barely see Sydney's black family. We barely see her interact with her black family, okay? Because none of her friends on Sydney to the max are darker than her. None of her friends are darker than her. Sydney is the darkest one. And this is what Sydney looks like.
Well, then I'd say you should make it a double celebration, because guess who also got into the advanced math class? Me.
So the most we ever see of her black cousin is in flashbacks, so she doesn't really interact with him all that much, okay? And we are aware that Sydney's mom is black. You know, Sydney to the Max is a show about a little biracial girl. Sydney to the Max, her mother is black. She died. We never see her mother. We do see her mother, but we barely see her mother when I say that, okay? We mostly see her mother in flashbacks where she's played by a girl that has, like, you know, loose curly hair, light skin. That's a colorism. That's another topic for another discussion, okay? We mostly see her in flashbacks. We see her black grandma, but she's barely in the show, okay? I love Sydney to the max, like I said. I love Andy Mac. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like these things don't bother me. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like these things aren't really an issue. Because yes, it is important that we see biracial characters, interracial relationships, and multicultural families, because these people do exist. That's why when it comes to Sydney to the Max, I adore Sydney to the Max. It's a really nice coming of age show. Like, it's actually one of Disney Channel's best, in my opinion, from, like, this current era that they're in. But it really just bothers me that we rarely see her interact with the black side, okay? It really just bothers me. We really just see her interact with her white family, and then, you know, her friends that are all lighter than her. And I'm aware that not all of her friends are white, but all of them are, you know, technically light skinned. It really bothers me that we barely see her interact with her black family, and we don't really see her get in touch with her black side all that much. And even when the show does get in touch with the blackness with Sydney, it's always trying to pull like a political statement or something. Like, diversity is not political, y'all. Why can't black people just exist just to exist? It would be nice just to see her family just be there with her. That is just one small critique I really just have about Sydney to the Max. Because as a black girl, I know I'm grown now, but when I was a girl, it really did bother me a lot of times when I did watch Disney Channel, and the only time I really saw black people on the series, they were portrayed poorly. And the black people on Sydney to the Max, they are portrayed in such good lights. It just sucks that we barely see them. Like, that's just one critique I really just give to the team of Sydney to the Max into the future. Can she interact with her black family a lot more, please? That would be so nice. That would be such a great thing for us to see, okay? I would really love that. Anyway, and I bet you the little biracial girls and just the biracial kids in general that are watching Sydney to the Max, they would appreciate seeing that black side too. I don't know. That's just me. That's just my opinion. So, like I said, it's important to see biracial characters because, you know, interracial relationships, multicultural families, biracial people exist. And I know biracial kids, it feels nice for them when they watch TV and they see their parents being portrayed accurately. But please, for the love of God, okay? Hollywood. Biracial does not always mean half white. Please understand, biracial does not always mean half white, okay? These are not the only kind of biracial people that exist, okay? Hollywood is extremely sneaky, okay? Hollywood is so sneaky. I be picking up on all the little stuff that y'all do, okay? I know all the little tricks and little giggles that y'all have, okay? They add half-white kids to their shows as their way to incorporate more white people into their programming, okay? That is exactly what it is, okay? Over this time, Hollywood is just talking about, we're doing better about diversity, this and that and that. And then they will make a black character, make them biracial, and just do that simply because they'll have an excuse to add more white people in there. No, because you could have added another Asian person in there, but you decided to add a white person. Anyway, because black biracial kids are not only mixed with white, okay? They just use this as an excuse to add more white family members into their bloodline, okay? Like, in the beginning that it worked because it was like, wow, this is something we never seen before. Thank you for having this representation on what America and just the world looks like. But now it's just tired. It's just tired. In the beginning it did work and it worked pretty well, but now it's just really tired, okay? Like I said, give us more stories about half black and half Asian kids too, okay? Because why is Kipo the only representation that they're really getting right now? Do better. Please do better. Please give us more black and half Latino stories, please, okay? Please give us more half Latino, half Asian stories, please. Half Asian, half indigenous stories, okay? Half black, half Pacific Islander. The list goes on. You see my point? You see my point that I'm trying to prove? Because these kids exist, okay? Biracial people outside of white people exist, Hollywood. Please get that through y'all thick skulls, okay? Hollywood is just very performative. They think they're doing something when they're really not. In conclusion, I hope this made sense because it makes sense to me. Please add more dark-skinned people to your shows and also include more biracial people that are not half white, okay? I think that would help with the diversity, okay? Because one thing a lot of Hollywood doesn't seem to get is that not all biracial people are light-skinned too. That's just something that I've noticed. That is just something that I've noticed. Biracial does not equal light skin, okay? I have met biracial people in my life. I'm friends with biracial people, and some of them darker than me. Anyway, okay, like I said, the list goes on. I'm just irritated at this point. Please do better about diversity. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below because a lot of y'all that watch me are not subscribed. Please make sure you give this video a like and please make sure you leave a comment to give the algorithm some justice, okay? Really love Sid from the Casa Grandes. I think she's great. She's just great. Okay, comment down below biracial characters that you just seem to like in the media. Okay, I'm just genuinely curious. We're doing what we can to give the algorithm justice. Okay, I love Jasmine Dubois, by the way. I think she's like one of my favorite biracial characters. But like I said, if you enjoy me and want to know ways that you can support me as a content creator because your girl is trying to quit her job, I have a Patreon. Please go subscribe if you can. Lowest tier is $1. Most expensive is $5. Any little bit helps. I try to make sure I upload that thing I try to make sure I upload it weekly because, yes, I want to provide a great service for you guys. Next thing you know, I have another little announcement that I'm coming out with because I know a lot of y'all have been looking at my nails this entire time. A lot of y'all like to follow my hands. This color that I have on my hands has come from my Sharpay collection, okay? My Sharpay collection from my store. It is this color right here. Can it even see it? I don't think it focused. Oh well. But I have this really pretty pink color. Pink's not even my color and I love this. Okay, that's how I know it's great. Okay, it's extremely well pigmented, very cute, vibrant pink color, and it also comes with the matching lip gloss. Okay, matching sparkling pink lip gloss, and it's not like super duper pinky too, because there are some pink lip glosses that are just not cute on me and just anyone in general because they're super hot pink. Like y'all remember like that Nicki Minaj pink that only looked good on Nicki Minaj? It's not like one of those. Okay, it looks like it, but when you put it on, it goes with your skin color. It's super duper cute. And then I also have this really cute fragrance mist to go along with it. Not fragrance mist, it's a fragrance oil. Really subtle, very fruity, but also not very fruity. It's more floral than it is fruity. It's floral with like a touch of fruit. I really enjoy this scent right here. Okay, it's just a nice, fun, fresh summertime scent. And yeah, if you guys would like to purchase these products, I will have the link to my Sharpay collection down below. And by the way, if you buy all three together, because you know we love a good bundle, the Sharpay beauty set costs less. Okay, we love to save monies over here. We love to save monies, by the way. Okay, I have another announcement I'd like to make. I'm trying to do better about keeping my announcements at the end. I have a web series called The Progenies. Please make sure you go down below and watch our pilot. Our episodes are coming out August 13th, and I am so freaking scared. I am just so freaking nervous because I just want to make sure you guys enjoy this project that I have been working on forever. Okay, it feels like I've just been working on this project forever and I just can't wait for you guys to see it. If you guys want to keep up with me, make sure you follow me on everything at Harriyanna, HARRIYANNA. That is on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Pinterest, Wattpad, all of that stuff. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day.
Powerpuff Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their rut. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay.